Yo, yo. Welcome, Penelverse. Who is this guy? The Penelverse.
He's a guy. He's a guy who follows Andrew Wilson around.
Like, you're gonna have to explain that a bit.
He's Andrew Wilson's cyber stalker. At least that's what.
Oh, I see. He quotes him a lot and stuff like that. Is that what you mean?
Well, he replaces Andrew Wilson's stuff on his channel, and I guess he comments on it sometimes.
Okay, you're not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Wilson, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really watch Andrew Wilson. I was fond of his destruction of Matt Dillahunty, but beyond that, I don't really care about him.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. That's okay.
He debated Matt Dillahunty a few years back and totally destroyed him.
Did he? Okay. So you got your rooms completely set up yet, or is that just what we can see for now?
That's what we can see for now. It's a continuous process, so there's no complete.
Are your hats hanging yet?
No, I'm just gonna keep them in a box.
Really? Oh no! I'm gonna cry.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I liked how they were hanging on your wall before. Let's take us through your books. What are all these books in your shelf? Anything special there?
Probably.
Yeah. What? Anything? You have Dungeons and Dragons, I guess. The older one. Hi, Annie.
Hi. This one's actually a cereal box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on a book. Cool. How you doing, Annie? How's your week?
All right. Yeah, I was trying to read the spines of the books, but I couldn't.
Let's go back.
I can't see them that well. I see a cookbook. That's the only one I recognize.
Yeah, there's those ones are cookbooks.
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Which book influenced your life the most over there, Hank? And don't say the dictionary.
On the shelf, probably either this one or this one.
Interesting. Let's see what they are. Radicals? Rules for radicals. How do you have rules for radicals?
Well, I bought it on Amazon.
Nice. Okay, and what's the other one?
That's
Free Culture.
My Lawrence Lessig. I also have what's this? 48 Laws of Power, but I don't like this book. It wasn't that.
Yeah, you don't like that. Didn't influence you. Yeah, we're good. We know.
No, the thing is, this book's garbage relative to other books that teach you strategy and stuff. This one's garbage. There's only 8 actual laws in here. Then there's 40 suggestions. You're better off reading Sun Tzu instead. But I don't have a physical Sun Tzu. But it's popular, so it gets to the top shelf because people recognize it.
Right.
There's 2 top shelves, and I have a couple invisible shelves. Then some stuff don't even make it to any shelf.
Sweet. So how's your week, Hank? Let's start with you.
Yeah, so I've been making good food recently. I'll start with this thing. I was trying to work on a new monitor stand, but building things are just kind of annoying. Some people feel just peaceful when they build stuff. I just feel this mind irritated, hoping I'll get done sooner rather than later. I don't know. I just have a different experience than what's advertised.
So you're not a fan of like flat pack furniture?
Well, I do have flat pack furniture. I have a mainstays bed now. So I can build stuff. It just doesn't give me pleasure. It gives me irritation.
Yeah.
No, people don't really understand.
Are you renting a room there, or is?
I'm renting a room there. Okay.
You're renting a room?
Am I renting a room? I'm in a room.
You are in a room, yeah. Are you renting the whole house? Are you renting it all?
Who knows? I'll let the trolls figure it out.
Well, I wanted to give them a little bit of food to help them figure it out. A little bit of a clue.
If they want to help, they can buy it. They can donate to Benjamin and ask for tips.
Well, I can't give them tips. I don't know. That's what I'm asking because I don't know. I want to know.
Well, maybe if they send some donations, I'll let them know.
All right. All right. How do we give you a donation here? What about you, Annie? How was your week?
Oh, it was. So 2 weeks ago, I was pretty busy, and so I kind of assumed that the following week would be slow, and it was. I only had one appointment, so I made $60 and a rose. A client brought me a really pretty rose.
Oh, cool.
So just like crocheting a lot, exercising. Yeah, but pretty. I don't like it because I can only crochet so many hours, and so I keep trying to think of other chores I can do. It's perfect when I have work because then I can't crochet as much, and so I don't do more than I should. You know, I crochet a lot, and it hurts me, like my hands and my shoulders and everything. So I'm hoping that this week will be busier. You know, like I put the crocheting aside because my hands get sore and I go do a different chore, but I just can't really think of other things to do. And I have a goal. So I'll take a break for 20 minutes, go do something else. And then I just pick it back up again. And it's too many hours.
You didn't start the knitting yet?
No, I've watched some videos and I had a dream about it. I had a really good dream. It's like sometimes it was really abstract and like kind of boring, but it just felt good. Like sometimes dreams just feel good. Like it feels like it's cleaning your spinal fluid or something. But the dream was that I was actually knitting with the 2 sticks. And every time I got to the end of the row, I woke up and thought about it. And that kept happening over and over again. Like I was just knitting and waking up and knitting and waking up. It was really weird. Is that your special water lettuce stuff?
They call this infused water. I was going to ask Benjamin if he knew what this was, but I just went ahead and answered you instead. But the other vegetarian I know didn't know what this was, so they never make this.
It looks like it's got some ginger or galangal in the bottom.
Yeah, ginger, turmeric, and I have parsley, meth tea, orange, and lemon, and you can taste it after an hour. It really doesn't get much stronger after an hour. So.
And then you just fill up the water again to make it taste again?
Yep.
Yeah, the anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric really only work if you cook it in a fat, like coconut milk or milk, just some kind of fat, and black pepper. It needs black pepper in order to activate the anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, but the flavor properties still work.
Yeah, there's still a flavor and a color. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have that parsley and the meth tea, and sometimes you get a little pieces of it, and that will do you anti-inflammatory because of the vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to let me donate money on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't receive money on YouTube. Yeah, you can't use Cash App. Yeah, donate money to yourself.
Yeah, never mind. Why can't you receive money on YouTube?
Because I don't care about my YouTube enough to make it big enough to receive money.
Oh, you don't have 1,000 subscribers or whatever you need to be monetized?
Yeah, so So I think it was 500 right now, but they recently took away monetization from channels that don't either show their face or don't produce super good scripted content. So a lot of people who used to be monetized or have been demonetized, I know of, like Orthodox Guy and Gabriel have been demonetized even though they didn't break any rules really.
So you were really busy? That's good, I guess. No? That's not good?
It's a thing.
Me? No, I was non-busy.
Oh, you were non-busy.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I was busy, and so then I figured the following week would be dead, and that's what happened this week. I only saw one client, so
where's the rose?
Well, it's bloomed. It was it's over next door. I had it in my office for a while, but it's kind of fading now. But it was like really tight, and then it opened up so pretty, and like my whole office smelled like rose when I walked in. It was one of the kind that's really fragrant, and that's one of my long-term clients, and he's just really into a lot of things, mostly like really handy refurbishing classic cars and stuff like that. But he's also just really into his flower garden. So he brings me roses every once in a while. And he's the one client that brings me whiskey also sometimes. And he even for Christmas gave me these little shot glasses because every time he brings a bottle of whiskey, we open it first and we each have a little before the massage, which is it's not professional,
no,
but
yeah,
there's just one shot, you know.
That's cool. I do the same thing. Why not?
Yeah, just don't tell the Oregon Board of Massage Therapists because
right,
I get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we've got there are some sort of prostitution rings that get busted every once in a while. And there are always these Asian massage parlors, and they have like a kind of an indentured servitude kind of structure, you know, to where they're helping Chinese immigrants come over, and then they're sort of like holding them hostage and making them do the work.
That sounds like a good Hank, you're muted, by the way. That sounds like a good business model, if not for the illegal stuff.
Yeah, completely different from the wage slavery Americans typically face.
Right.
Where if you don't work, you get kicked out. So
I still like when I see my Google Analytics and I can see what people are searching to find me. So many people are searching Asian massage, and it's kind of like a code word for prostitution.
Asian massage. All right. Yeah, Ruck, jump on the panel. Welcome to come on. Anyone who's watching, the link's in the description. Jump on. I hadn't heard, I guess it makes sense, but I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really hard for massage, you know, the legitimate massage therapists. There are also these platforms that have like bots that they just crawl the internet and take your information and they'll list you on it. So I was getting calls because I was listed on something called BedPage. And they're like, I saw you on BedPage. Are you available? And I'm like, I would never list my business on any site that had the word bed in it. And yeah, and that listing wasn't even authorized by me. It was like they created that page and listed me. It's like a whole thing.
What is BedPage? Is that?
Well, I don't even know if it still exists, but like a few of us ended up on it. And they're really hard to shut down. It was like, you know how just like scams and loopholes are always evolving. That was just something that was happening for a while.
It's a kind of classified thing. There's probably some way to bog down. Yes, probably somebody that bought down the ones that match your business.
Do you see it on?
I'm not showing it, but I see it. But yeah, we could bot down the thing. The services.
Okay, it's escorts. I see.
Yeah, there's services for privacy that will pull down your stuff if you don't want it up there. I actually have one for myself as part of my employment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like kind of a mess, you know. There are a few other companies that do it too. They just take your listing and advertise you on their page, and it's like you didn't authorize it, and it's not always, you know, the vibe you're trying to project.
What's up, Gabriel? Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hey, Nico, welcome back.
Hey. I had a good massage yesterday. I went to reflexology massage, foot massage.
That's
I go to that. I try to treat myself to that like at least every 2 weeks or once a week.
What do you do it for?
I guess to heal. I think I think it really helps with your internal organs and stuff. So yeah, at first I think I started doing this about 10 years ago, and I used to have like a kind of like sensation and sometimes pain in like my teeth, for example. I remember when I first started going there, the master, he used to work the, cause I live in Asia. He used to work the toe part, and I think that corresponds with your teeth and sometimes your sinuses and stuff. And like it used to hurt so bad. Now it doesn't hurt. Now I fall asleep. But yeah, man, like that stuff is, I love it. Yeah. I don't know if you ever had one of those before. Reflexology.
My brother used to do it. It hurts. Well, he does it so that it hurts.
It does hurt.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't hurt me anymore. Maybe
Okay.
I'm weird like that, but I actually like it, and I really truly believe it helps me. So
Well, he taught me how to do it. 'Cause, like all you do is you like feel around on the foot until you see the person have pain on their face, and then you push right there. That's what you do, and that's how you do reflexology.
yeah. Like the guy that does it, the one that I go to, I think he's like blind, almost legally blind.
Oh yeah.
And he has this like huge callus on his thumb or his knuckle or whatever. Because my mother-in-law told me about it like years ago, and I guess she thought that's his money maker. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What cool.
How's life, Nico? We never got a chance to chat.
Yeah, we really didn't.
Yeah. Well, welcome back.
We
How are
hopefully can. We hopefully can at some point, though.
Sure. Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm pretty free in the coming days and week.
Yeah. How are you? How's life? How's your job? How's all that stuff?
Yeah, not the best.
No.
So I got basically like written up / talked to by my manager, bringing up several critiques that were made, and one of them being that like one of them being I'm late. I show up late a lot.
That makes sense. We should talk to you for that.
And so I've been correcting that basically. Like I had some tardies. What do you might call it? I had some tardies, and then I had
how late were you?
Like there's like 5 minutes or so, a couple times. Then one time it was a little longer because I had slept through my alarm. But yeah. Yeah, so I was tardy a couple times. Enough times to get them to say something. And then I also had the problem of like using the restroom a lot, where I'd spend like swaths of time in there. Cause like I take like stimulant ADHD medication, and that makes me shit. And I can't stop myself from shitting because it just feels like it's gonna get forced out of my ass.
Thanks for the TMI, dude. Very good.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Have they offered you a diaper yet?
I know you have high sensory, so I try to be as specific as possible.
Great.
But yeah, so basically there's that, and then there's also me losing track of time a lot, where I'd spend like
the solution to that
exorbitant amount of time in there. So basically I became more aware of that, after the talk, and I seem to have corrected my behavior. Another critique was a lack of sense of urgency whenever completing tasks. It's like I didn't show initiative. And like I really didn't know what to say to that. Because like from my POV, I was acting like as urgent as possible, you know? But yeah, I guess like a lack of a sense of urgency, just like no drive, I guess.
When you get to work, do you want to go home right away?
Who doesn't?
No,
I mean, yeah. First and foremost, who doesn't? But at the same time,
maybe there are some people.
I mean, not really. Like, I want to work. I want to do the job. I want to make the money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, I have that problem. So those are behaviors that I corrected according to my boss, who I went to ask. At a later point, was like, hey, am I doing better? This is all within like the past, like starting at the beginning of April type of thing. At the beginning of April, this is kind of where the critiques were brought up, and yeah. Basic terms, what's been happening now is that my hours have been drastically cut, as well as like my hours have been cut, and there seems to be more new employees in the store.
They're phasing you out.
And yeah. And it's like for a bit of an idea on how bad it is. In a 4-week period, a 1-month period, starting from, I believe, last week, where, I had my final. I had to take a day off, but I had no idea if that day would be in my schedule, or whether like I had no idea. I couldn't see the schedule, but I knew I had to take that day off because I had the final for my class.
Did you just go ahead and request before the schedule appeared? That's what I would have done. That way they know. Because
I was taking chem.
Yeah, if you requested it before they rendered the schedule, then they'll know before they put the schedule in that you had to take that day off. That's all I would do it.
Yeah. So I basically put it in, and I had the day off. Cool. But that was but I had no work that week. Ooh. Not at all. So last week, none. This week, one day. I worked Friday from 9 to 3, so 6 hours. And then the week after this week, no work. And then
Sounds
the
like
week after then the week after that, I have 2 days of work. So 3 days of work in a 1-month period.
Yeah, you need another job. That's not a job.
I need another job.
Yeah.
On Friday, I'm going to go in and ask, like, hey, what's going on? Because every time that I've asked both of my managers, hey, my schedule's not looking good. I don't really have too many hours. Could you fill me in on what's going on with that?
Don't you already know what's going on. So just go ahead, go to the next department over and get some hours over there. Just betray them. Then let them get pissed. Okay, we're gonna move you back over here. We don't want someone to steal you from us, even though we want control. We don't want to give you.
No, they probably want someone to steal them.
Yeah. I'm not valuable to them. Basically.
Then go to the next department. Try to get some hours over in the next department. Probably meet department.
Okay, I appreciate your blast, but I reached out to them.
What's going on because you already know what's going on. So.
Well, I reached out to them, just to get a little bit of clarification. I was wondering, if it's either, hey, you had this performance review, we're cutting your hours until we see improvement, which in my opinion seems kind of counterintuitive because that gives you less opportunity to improve because you have less practice. But whatever. But I I contact them and I get ghosted by both of them. I reach out a total of 3 times to the both of them, and I'm completely ghosted. No response from either about my situation, about what's going on, about anything of the matter. And I'm just like, well, this is fucking great. So,
Did you get the formal write-up after they ghosted you to force them to respond?
No, I didn't get the formal write-up.
No, give them a formal write-up. Give it to them, because if you're working for MedCorp, you use a report system to write people up.
Maybe I haven't looked into that.
Yes,
but
that way they have to be forced to respond to you, or there'll be violation of protocol.
It sounds like you're not in a good situation there. You should find a job.
It's simple what's going on. They're doing that's quiet firing. So instead of not explicitly firing them, just give them so low hours he can't afford to work.
And at your next job, show some urgency. If someone asks you for something, run to get it.
Yeah, basically, that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah.
So it's just like fuck, man. This happened with Amazon. This also happened with fucking Amazon, where
the dishwashing.
The dishwashing, something similar, where I was like too slow. And
I didn't get serious about my job. I used to work in the working the grocery business for many years, retail, and in between I had different jobs. And I used to be late a lot, like 5 minutes late, 2 minutes late, a lot of the times. And it wasn't until like 8 years ago I started to actually take my work, have more urgency, and take it a lot more seriously. Is when I had my son, and I think that was kind of for me gave me motivation. That even though I didn't like the job necessarily that much, it made me to say, okay, I gotta need that money, man. Yeah, and I gotta being good and what's that?
Yeah, Nico needs to make a baby.
Step 1, have a kid. Step 2, gain more urgency.
Get married I got married first, then the baby. But yeah, that helped. Yeah, that helped me a lot. Now I'm like I haven't missed a day of work in 3 years, which is weird. I've never been like that in any other jobs. Plus my job I kind of like now. It's not bad.
What do you do?
That helps.
I'm a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you teach?
And plus English and writing, and
cool.
Yeah, and right now, the reason why I don't take any days off is because if I do, if I'm behind, it just makes it so much harder for myself and the students to stay on track. You have
responsibility to your students now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And plus, I don't want other people teaching the class too. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I actually surprised myself when I think about it. I'm like, wow, I don't miss any more work or anything, and I'm always pretty much on time all the time.
What happened? You became responsible.
Yes, that's it. Which is something that I really never had. The only time I was responsible back in the day was when I played sports. That was my thing. But school, not very responsible. Work, not very responsible. But now, this is it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I started with a lot of urgency, but I gradually lost it because too much BS got in the way, and I said, you know what, I'll lower my energy output to your level so we can manage it.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's interesting the kind of responses I got I got I got some telling me what to do. I got some stories about self, you know, whatever. So yeah,
What do you
that's
want to do?
I don't even have a plan. Like I don't have yeah, I know patterns, man, they're funny. Uh, but yeah, like it
He
just
doesn't need
it
to plan.
feels
He's
like
got a
I have
girlfriend.
nothing. I just feel I feel aimless almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel in the mindset of just like, man, you know, am I like if I get another job, am I gonna like fail the same? Like it's just this is just gonna keep happening.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much until you fix it.
yeah. So it's like,
Until someone lights a fire under your ass.
Yeah. I think the only job, quote unquote, I wouldn't feel like that. I would be so excited to do every day would be like streaming. Like I enjoy streaming and stuff and media, making videos and whatnot. And yeah, I think I would. I think doing stuff like that, there's not enough time in the day.
You have a channel going, Gabriel?
Yeah, so I have a channel. It's called at NPC the game.
At NPC the game. Let's take a look.
And one word. Yeah. Hank has definitely been a great supporter. Appreciate you, Hank.
Yeah, and he gave you a badge on my channel because I didn't give you one yet. You did the first time you posted.
Yeah.
It's like the symbol at the %.
Yeah, it's for all the channels at and then I'll just copy and paste the few Benjamin. So put it.
That's my son's name, Benjamin. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good name.
I think I seen your stream when you were. I think you were on patrol or you were working. You were in the military.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. So why elites worship Satan? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a fun, spicy topic.
Yeah. Coachella music is time traveling.
Yeah, to me. Yeah. So I was talking about my 2012 experience there. That was fun.
Right. Interesting.
We know Ruck. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up.
Yeah, bring him up. Sorry, I'm looking at this channel here.
Hello, Hank. Hello, NPC, the game. Oh, and everybody's name is so small now I can't read them all. Oh, there we go.
Hi, Ruck.
Hello, Benjamin.
Good to see you, Ruck.
Benjamin, Annie, Photon Man, and of course, greetings, Hank, the host. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for letting me up.
so
I had a quick question for the gentleman that was talking about washing dishes and finding that not a satisfying gig. I refer to him as kind of like a little brother. He has chosen the path of the dishwasher, and I'm not trying to make a joke here. He literally says that that's all he wants to do. He lives out of his van. We made it possible for him to make sure that he had, a functioning, good camper vehicle, but he chooses to work as a dishwasher, live out of his van, and do his own thing and that thing. I don't judge him for that. I'm like, if he's happy, he's happy. But it kind of says if you can't find happiness anywhere, then that might be a journey that where it has to start in the mirror. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a good guy, and that's enough for him. That's all he wants. That's all he needs. I'm not going to judge him for it. I'm not going to call him less than for it. But if you can't find anything anywhere, to me, that journey starts in the mirror.
Yeah,
what do you think, Nico?
That's what I'm beginning to see for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good knowledge.
Something by Carl Jung, or it was either Carl Jung or Jesus, or some
one of the two. They're pretty similar.
one of the two. It was like what you bring forth from inside yourself will save you, and what you don't bring forth will destroy you. Basically,
sounds more like Young. Yeah, sounds more like Young. Although I don't know that quote.
All right,
yeah.
I was just trying to offer something. My bad.
No, you're good, Rook.
it, but
that was a good wisdom, Rook.
Yeah, it was good wisdom.
Yeah, they said very, very similar things.
Yes, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Does that saying though? That saying that means like bring forth everything, basically, right? That sounds like to me. That's what I get from that.
Yeah.
Bring light to everything.
Oh, am I wrong, or was there not a gentleman that said that, he was just very unhappy with everything he tried? Did I misinterpret that?
No, you're good. Yeah. What do you do, Ruck?
Mostly I sit around and drink and smoke weed at this point. I'm old and fat, and I'm a retired actor. But
nice. Anything you've been in that we know?
We're not going to play that game. We're not going to play that game.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Brown's boy plays the game better than we do, so he'll figure it out. Brown's boy.
No, I was a little bit confused because when I do show up, I try to be supportive of people, and I hear someone saying that they haven't found their thing yet, and to me, that's something where I wish it makes me a little bit sad. We all have to have our thing. We all have to find our place. We all have to find our journey. We all have to find our path. And if we haven't found it yet, it makes me a little bit sad.
I haven't found my thing yet, but I generally just push hard. I just brute force things just to get them finished. So.
I heard that.
What percent's your phone? Okay.
Well, Nico is going to get back into chemistry, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a couple of ideas in that regard.
I'm pretty sure you can make a lateral move to the meat section if you wanted to.
The meat section?
Yes.
Chemistry? Like what in particular, Nico? Studying it?
Thinking organic. Trying to get a PhD in that.
Get your undergrad first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Stanley Cross, the YouTuber? Stanley?
I've been on his show. Yes, I know him.
Yeah, he's I think he has his PhD in chemistry. I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
This guy's Stanley versus the world?
Yes.
I'm pretty think it's anthropology, but I had to double check.
No, he said chemistry.
Chemistry, okay.
Yeah, chemistry. Yeah, and he ended up in the private. He was in the military. His I think his job entailed that, and also I think after in civilian life, he had a job dealing with chemistry. Yeah,
that's kind of scary with all the generals and all the people that work for JPL and all those places disappearing right now. This is kind of horrifying.
The Stanley Cross bottle. What did he invent here?
Is that him?
Right.
You got unboxing.
Okay.
You're funny. Yeah. I have the same Stanley Cross. Yeah. Yeah. Stanley
I
said
like
even
the
his
porn music though.
wife,
Right?
I do too.
like loungy, cool music.
What would the board say about the music, Annie? I don't think they care, right?
If you, like, if you put Stanley versus the world, that's Stanley's channel.
Right.
Well, that's kind of the stance he takes when he's on RLM late at night. So that would make sense.
Yeah, I think his wife was in the same field. She was a doctor too. In that. Yeah. Chemistry. As a joke, whenever I hear chemistry, I think of Walter White, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I hear chemistry. I think of a class I got a C in. God damn it.
Yeah. It's biology, then chemistry. I remember.
Did you wash your hands? No. You probably should.
Yeah.
Each and
Oh,
every
that's
time.
funny. I love that.
Oh. Hey, Benjamin, what subject did you like? What was your subjects in school you like?
Physics.
Physics. Cool.
How far
I
did
did
you
well
go?
in
How far did
chemistry.
you go? How far did you go in physics?
I got a bachelor's.
Cool. Nice.
Nico, you knew that, didn't you?
I forgot if it was like I knew it wasn't a PhD, but I didn't know if it was a master's or a bachelor's.
No, just engineering physics.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, something practical. Yeah.
Could that be loosely related? Could that be loosely related to multiple universe theories and stuff like that?
Yeah, it can be. Although I don't like them. I don't think they're right, but it can be.
Yeah, I think it sounds cool. And then somebody brought to my attention that could kind of too much delving into that could get you away from the moment now, where we're the present moment. I thought, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think too hard about multiple universes because they just work like save files for me. So it's something I'm used to working with, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Mm-hmm.
So like my file system now on this Fedora 44 system uses BTRFS, and at any moment I can take a snapshot, which means that I got a copyright image. So any change to the file gets differenced before it's written to the disk. So it's kind of, in some sense, I have access to two different versions of the same file. Assume I made a change, but those aren't backups. So if the disk fails, it's gone. But for multiple universes, it's kind of work similar to that, except they should work whether or not one universe fails or not. So I have analogs that I work with, so it doesn't bother me.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, multiple universes. I would not say is physics, although there's lots of physicists who would. I would say that's more like science fiction or fantasy or whatever. Yeah.
It really depends on how you define universe. Like if you define universe as just a collection of objects, then this panel could be a universe in some sense. But
is
Sure.
theoretical physics just like intellectual science fiction?
What's intellectual science fiction?
I said theoretical physics.
Yeah, I would say so.
Sorry.
I absolutely would say so.
Although I don't know anyone who would really want to read that fiction. But yeah.
There's a lot of people who pretend to read it though.
Man, I think the most physics I got was 2 months ago in a while when I watched Oppenheimer.
Man,
movie was wild.
I never saw it, but yeah, it should be.
Oppenheimer's pretty good.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan's very over the top with his presentation.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep. I woke up. My dog was barking. They needed to go to the restroom, and then I was walking. I'm listening to you guys, but I think I'm gonna. It's 2:30 almost, so I'm gonna go to sleep. I appreciate having you guys. Hopefully,
yeah, that was the time I clocked in.
Come back on.
2:30 a.m. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. was when I clocked in for work today.
Yeah, we're 12 hours apart.
Wait,
Hank, I'm Back to the Future.
Yeah. Are you on like the West Coast or something? Where are you?
I'm in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Taiwan. Yeah.
Taiwan.
Yeah. Are you in Israel?
I am, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Everybody stay blessed, guys. I'll talk to you soon. And you're always welcome on my channel. Good to see you, Ruck. Nice to meet you.
Take care, Gabe.
Take care.
Take care, Gabe. Be well, sir.
You too. See you guys later.
See ya. Yeah, I knew we were 12 hours apart. I'm just saying he's up at 2:30 a.m. So was I. My alarm actually woke me up at 1 a.m. so I can make it there at 2:30 a.m.
It's pretty crazy, Hank. Every day you work that early?
Well, it moves a little bit. So yesterday I clocked in 2:15. So yeah, yesterday was that early. But Sunday I clocked in at I think 3:15 was 3:30. So I didn't have to wake up as early.
You feeling it?
What are you guys taking?
Yeah. What's
Huh?
What are you guys doing over there? You're taking some kind of drug?
Oh, she took a hit of a pen. A weed pen.
Peace.
No, I don't smoke weed. No.
It's Dominic. Whoops. Hey, Dominic.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome. Great.
Not so much. I just thought I'd hop on because I don't remember the last time I did. So thought that'd be a good day.
It is.
Yeah.
Call other CVSs?
Where are you from?
Me? California.
You should probably do that really quick just so it's out of the way.
California, the state?
Yeah.
Somewhere there?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you do over there?
Well, I've been going back to school, and then I'm gonna finish that soon.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna try and write my book over the summer that I've been working on.
What are you going to school for?
Well,
just to get a psychology degree. But if I go back to work, it will probably be going back to construction. Yeah.
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 And what's your book about?
My book's about the apocalypse and defining the apocalypse and understanding the etymological definition of the apocalypse, which is the unveiling.
Mm-hmm.
So I frame it as an unveiling of structures which are inherently predatory towards humanity because they are centered around hierarchy and compartmentalization, where the few dominate the labor of the many because they don't want to do labor themselves. Yeah.
Well, that happened a long time ago.
Yes, and I point out the origins of where this comes from, this way of thinking. and I trace how it works throughout history, through the modern day, and then I provide solutions, and then I provide a climax revolving around what it will look like when the solutions that I provide will clash with the systems that have been around for all these years.
The solutions that you provide. So you have solutions or not yet?
Oh yeah, I have solutions. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you solving? What are the problems?
Well, the problem has mainly been that humanity has willingly given themselves over to people who do not have their best interest, who justify their rulership through traditions based in abstract authority, typically divine rulership. And this is basically transformed throughout the millennia into secular rulership we see today, which now, instead of authority coming from the gods, authority comes from humanity directly, where we basically, because we're the most intelligent life on the planet, we think that we're the gods now. But it's the same, it's no different from what they were doing from the time when they were making Hammurabi's code to now.
I need to use the rest.
Okay, so then what's your solution?
The solutions are to recognize that these systems are not as old as we think they are. They are probably about 10,000 years old at the most, while humanity is about 100 to 200,000 years old, which means for tens and tens of thousands of years, humanity lived free of the systems of coercion and hierarchy and compartmentalization. So we must find a way. Yes, I'm an anarchist. But these people were not necessarily anarchists. They were more egalitarian. So we must find a way to balance the egalitarian ways of the past with the modern means of technological control through decentralization of technology.
So feudalism sounds right.
No, feudalism is literally a hierarchical class structure based in lords, knights, and peasants, which is what we need to get rid of.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them, so it's kind of flat.
A law?
There's a lot of lords and counts and knights. And
oh,
so it's gonna kind of smooth out. So it's got like a small star system, like so like each township can have a lord or something like that. Then there's a lot of representation rather than only a little bit.
Well, I see what you're saying, and this is something that might be able to go into my second book, which will go after this as sort of a sister work, which will tackle the same problems from a non-apocalyptic perspective and aim to basically reduce the systems through gradual growth of the individual. So if that would be a step towards the inevitable abolition of the state, feudalism, where there's a lot of lords, that could be a positive thing. But the point is that it would end and work towards something better. But that's so not
you don't see any positives about the systems at all?
The only real positive compared to what we had before is the amount of surplus and material that the system produces. But this comes with a huge cost, because now our whole meaning in life is basically, as an individual, equated with what we're outputting or contributing to society.
And you don't think the system itself is a solution to a problem?
The solution, or the system or civilization, has been a failed solution. And it's inherently designed to consolidate power amongst the few so that they can run basically cities structurally similar to insects like ants or wasps.
But you don't think that, like, okay, so a lot, let's say there's a problem, like people are cutting line, and so then someone's like, okay, let's figure out a system, let's get like a first come, first serve, take a number sort of thing. So that's a system that the guy employed to solve a problem. So if you get rid of that system, you're reintroducing the problem. See what I'm saying?
No, because the thing is that instead of relying on a system, my book will emphasize that individuals need to rely on education, relying on principles rooted in responsibility and ownership of individuals.
But what about all the idiots and all of the stupid people?
If you treat, the thing is, you know, all these people were children at one point, and they weren't always stupid. So if you treat these people with dignity and respect, and, you know, from a more liberal arts educational perspective, where emphasis on individual growth and finding and learning who they are as an individual, they're less likely to grow into idiots.
But so I heard a story a long time ago about a guy who had trouble getting to work on time. I don't think it's a good idea to necessarily make him a king, because maybe he won't do the needful for himself. What do you say about that?
I would say that everyone is their own king. So if they're late, you know, they're only late to their own kingdom.
So what if someone just wants to conquer them or expunge them? But it sucks to be human. We're kind of in capitalism. Then it sounds like.
Well, the point is to emphasize that domination of other human beings is the problem, and to reject this way of thinking. You know, are there going to be people who do this? Yes. But the point is to get them so few in number that when they do try and do these things, number one, the people who are not psychopaths or immoral are not afraid to stand up to them and recognize when and where to act when necessary.
Well, according to a known game theory, the fewer psychopaths with no resistance, the more power they'll have on average.
Not if the people are saying no to the psychopaths.
What's up, Joseph?
Hi.
Yeah, I mean, it's reintroducing anarchy and getting rid of all the systems is reintroducing problems, in my opinion, until you find another solution.
But the solution is respect for the individual and teaching each individual to be themselves.
So how do I know when I'm myself?
What if I'm just an asshole and I like to steal things? What if that's myself?
Well, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences that you're going to generate in life, which are probably going to be not good for yourself, right?
So would there be systems that would be created that would help manage the distribution of these consequences for people who harm others?
Well, that would be a new system. You can't do that.
No, there would be no police force like organization to distribute consequences on thieves, because the police, by their job, enforce laws which are inherently unjust to begin with.
So gangs are going to roll.
We're thinking like
neighborhood watch, yeah, the neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch / feudal Ireland, where if you insult a neighbor, it's likely to become a blood feud, and you just kill their entire family.
I kind of imagine
it did happen.
I kind of imagine what the writers of the Second Amendment imagined when they were writing it, which is a well-regulated militia that is people who know how to use firearms or weapons, whatever they are, in coordinated tactics and maintain them, and that this is necessary to the security of a free state. It's people who know how to defend themselves without being reliant on some sort of centralized authority.
Yeah, I don't see it working. I'm just saying.
I can see it working some places.
I just see people exploiting it or people ganging up and descent into chaos.
The only way people can exploit it is if the vast majority allows them to.
Cool. So we're back where we are. That's awesome.
Well, then that would imply that the vast majority needs to not allow people to do things, and then you're back exactly where you are. The vast majority.
No, that would imply that the vast majority needs to respect themselves and individuals enough to not let other people exploit them or others.
But they don't.
As long as I
They
know,
don't.
know
Yeah,
that
they
they're
don't.
being exploited.
that's the way people work. If they're not getting exploited, they don't care. They were not going to lift a finger. It's only when they get screwed is when they lift a finger.
Well, you see, as we can see with our systems we have in place, when someone else is getting screwed over, eventually it's probably going to come back to you, especially if you're an American, as we can see with things like inflation and the housing markets. You know, people who think that they're making profits one day, you know, it ends up being really bad for lots of other people the next.
But it's not so bad for him, the person who did that. It's bad for
Exactly.
everyone else.
So I'm saying that if the people disengaged from these predatory systems and created more natural systems where actual labor is valued instead of you know, what people at Wall Street do, things like that, then we would have much less of a problem than we have now.
I would argue that the natural system is also predatory.
So are you talking about like lions and gazelles, like predator and prey type stuff?
Yeah, and it goes all the way down to the smallest units in our body. Our cells predate on each other.
Well, I mean, you could also look to other parts of nature and look at the symbiosis of our body, of microbiome, which keeps us alive and we keep it alive. And we aren't the only animal like this. And there's many other animals who share a symbiotic relationship with their environments. And there was a time when human beings did this. And today we're basically metastasis upon the earth.
Yeah, there's some situations where systems are collaborative, but they're also competitive in other contexts.
Well, we used to have other systems like tribal systems, family systems, things like that.
Yes,
Hey
and these
guys,
systems were non-coercive. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's when they were.
This
Yeah.
guy, this
Bye,
this
Nico.
guy, the system
Good luck.
abolishment guy kind of seems like any coded EP. Not even gonna lie.
Strongly agree.
All right.
Bye, Nico.
Hey,
Good luck, Nico.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your
Bye.
pen weed. What's up, Dragon's Neck?
Oh, not much. I've been just busy with a lot of stuff. How's your
Yeah.
patents going?
Haven't seen you in a while. What
Yeah.
have you been processing?
They're what?
What have you been processing?
Uh, what mistakes I probably made today at work
Ah,
at a meeting where I'm talking kind of on the behalf of other people, sort of thing. Getting myself into trouble.
yeah, it's okay. The tribe will forget. They don't care that much.
Yeah, I mean, from the way they run things, I don't think it will stick very long.
Yeah.
So basically, everyone at work's just pretty depressed. Everything just doesn't sound like it's going well. They got the new material management system that's causing hell for people, but they say
So
that
you should
they
just
need,
get rid of all the systems, and then everything will be better.
I mean, they only had to go to this new system because they want to make it a free trade zone to get by the tariffs. But it's like, it's caused so many like problems, and it's like still hard to work with, where someone will order parts to their line for the material handlers, and it won't come for like over 2 hours because they're like dealing with other stuff in the queue and having troubles with that, and they can't see what's next or what was requested after what they're currently working on. So until they get what they're working on figured out, like other lines and stuff can't get their product.
Bottleneck. Yep.
So it's been weird. And then there's like the tensions between shifts have like just kind of gotten to like a breakdown point to where systems we do have for like taking scrap and dumping it and like, you know, taking parts from the line that like a reel of pins, if you understand what I'm saying, there's like metal pins that are stitched into plastic parts, and what's wrapped around that reel is like paper, and that paper gets taken off as the pins are getting used, and we have these like bins that you just throw the paper in, and at the end of your shift you empty it. Well, all of my shift seems to not be using those because the shift before them hasn't been emptying them. So they're like bypassing the systems because they're done dealing with people not participating in them. And people also just like,
so what do they do with the paper? They just throw it all over the floor, or they throw it out?
They just like put it on top of the machine, and then they just throw that away at like certain points. So they instead of like using the bin close by, they walk it down to like the main bin that they would dump it in at the end of shift. And they're just bypassing a lot of stuff like that. So everyone's just kind of unhappy, and the way they have the management kind of set up for a lot of the areas is what they call cell leads. So there's like a cell lead per shift, and in like 2 different locations. And it seems like they do things differently, and if you have a problem, you're supposed to like escalate it to your cell lead, and then your cell lead's supposed to escalate it, and it just seems to be like a complete breakdown in the process where it's not functioning, and people aren't getting like their problems solved by the system. And
sounds familiar.
What solution do you have for this all?
I preferred what we had before, where we kind of had like a main unit manager who was more directly involved with all the processes.
And so you would tell them to empty the bin, and then they would actually do it?
Yes, that's exactly how it used to be. The guy before was like, had this gruff voice and was kind of like somewhat military-like, and he was just like a hard ass. And it's like whenever there was a problem, he would squash it. If people weren't sure how to do it one way or another, he would say, this is the way we're doing it. And we don't have that anymore. Right. And at the meeting today, I was asking like, well, I stayed after the meeting for like an hour talking to like the bigger people in charge. And was kind of like saying like, it seemed like that was very valuable and we don't have that anymore. And they're saying, oh, we were actively trying to move away from that, because if this one guy's making all the decisions, then the other people aren't being held accountable. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me, because right now there's no one holding them accountable. And it wasn't that the guy was like doing everything for everyone. It was that he was held order, but they want to stretch everyone and they keep talking about how they want everyone to be flexible, and they want everyone to do their part to come and bring them solutions and like be active in multiple areas. And it's just like a nightmare, because there's been such a breakdown in roles and responsibilities that it's like no one knows who to go to anymore. And everyone's that I've talked to on my shift have like given up on giving feedback. And yeah, it's bad, because they still like aren't getting their reviews, and they're not like getting any pay increases. And again, there's like, they're being stretched thin. And in some ways I agree with the higher ups, where like, yeah, it's okay, they could run these 2 lines that are right next to each other with some help from like a few extra operators. But it's still just like, it's kind of excessive here and there, especially when they're using people that aren't capable of even running one machine well, and they're having them run 2 to 3 machines. And it's just like, ouch. So because no one else wants to speak up about it, I try to voice some of the emotional environment that's going on. And they don't like that because they see it as too generalized, which in a way it is, and I mean it to be, because I don't want to name names, because it is not my business to be getting involved in other people's problems that aren't affecting me in my role. But I don't like the way I'm predicting things going, so it's like I want to help. And I feel like the way they receive my feedback, even though it's like not me coming with specific problems or like coming to them with solutions for things, they never ask like any questions about what I'm talking about or like how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. And they always jump to saying like they jump to like more of a defensive play of like, oh well, this is just how things are, or like you need to just worry about your role. And it's like that all the time. And then the main guy says like, if I was worrying about all these other problems, I wouldn't be able to work on my job, which is worrying about where we're going to be at in 2 years. And I'm like,
so I don't get it. What was the point of the meeting then? Wasn't that the point of the meeting?
No, I guess I don't know what the point of the meeting is, because they come in, it's the same thing every time where they talk about our profits, where we're up and down in terms of quality notifications from like customers, and where we're at in scrap and like safety and all that. And then, oh, we have this machine coming. It might go in this area. It should bring us a lot of money. And there's this whole idea that about a free trade zone, and we're just going to kind of skim over this until the HR guy voices up like, hey, sorry guys, this is a new idea and this is a big one, so let's like, I'm just learning about this too. And I'm like shaking my head because there's been talk about this free trade zone in the Rumorville for like ever, and it's like you guys can't even like tell us more about what this means. But yeah, it's just
but I would
messy.
do is slap them really hard when at the border. So when their stuff actually does have a known impact on you, you hit them really hard there. That way they have to at least patch it up. So once it does, they get some grape jelly on your peanut butter. You slap them hard there.
I mean, it sounds like what you're doing is all you can do. You voice your opinion and they brush you off and you're like, okay, well, I'll just watch you guys crash and burn.
That's pretty much where everyone else is at. I'm trying not to get there. And they make it very hard. And I'm trying to tell them that everyone else is there that I talk to. And they just say, oh, you're generalizing. That, of course, not everyone feels that way. Yet there's these other guys in these other departments saying similar things, which I was very appreciative of. But yeah, a lot of that talk was like afterwards. They were still talking about the new material management system and how it's necessary, but they don't ever talk about all of the problems we're having with it and what they're planning on doing about that. They just said, this is a transition period. It's going to be hard. And that's it. And they never talk about any specifics, and they're combining like 3 to 4 very different departments. Like you've got assembly, you've got molding, you've got stamping, you got plating, and they try to act like we're all just one happy family. And I don't think it works that way. And because they don't ever get into any specifics, it makes these meetings feel like garbage. And it was funny, this one lady brought up about the material management system she's like, well, are you guys going to do anything about our lines that aren't running well? Because if our lines aren't running well, then your material management system is going to work. And she's like making a point, but she's also completely missing the point of what they're talking about. She's like, well, if we can't make the material to put in your system, then it's not going to work. And they're just
you know what? You know what you could do? You can play dumb and say, well, hey, manager, I don't know how this works. Can you explain it to me? And
they can't explain it either. They're too busy in their offices. They don't understand any of the processes. The head guy just last Friday came over to my building and found our offices where the controls people sit and is like, oh, I didn't even know this office was here. You guys are stationed over here? I think
Well-
maybe you guys should be stationed at the other building so you can support more machines.
So probably just collect the money then. It'll probably going down the drain. So collect the money while Silk comes in.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, I could definitely improve in my job a lot, even though I'm just very unmotivated at the moment, and none of my current projects feel very meaningful. And yeah, just a lot of weird stuff.
I was just appreciating the irony of the guy who came on. He's like, "We need to get rid of all our systems," and then you're like, "They got rid of all our systems at my company, and everything's a mess."
Yes, exactly.
Me too.
They didn't get rid of them; they just changed. And the only thing that people are mad about is they don't like change. That's the only problem. It's not
That's
that
it?
there's bad systems or they don't understand the value. It's just that people don't like change. It's just that simple.
To make it more painful to stay the same.
Like we have apparently for this new system, one machine makes these parts and they put them on this rack. Apparently the system takes like 30 steps using this like scanner thing, and is so complicated that they had to laminate an instruction sheet in order to use this new system to move this rack from one machine down to another machine to use those parts from that rack. It's like, is there not like an obvious problem here if it's this complicated and we're breaking a rule? Because they told us you cannot have any instructions or print out or documents on the floor. It has to all be one source online, and like it's a specific like document location.
No,
We can't even do that.
well, the rule wasn't good, so didn't follow it. So
Yeah, you can't do that. I wish. I mean,
well, they
people
aren't.
probably do that.
If they said no documentation on the floor and they have documentation on the floor, well, mounted to a wall, which may be a workaround. I don't know. But the rule's probably not good.
Some other guys got in trouble during one of the last audits because they had sticky notes on their machine for like little notes or something for themselves, and they
why get in
freaked
trouble?
out. What?
That's weird. It sounds like he's, trying to remind himself how to do his job right.
Pretty much, which is why he's supposed to use the dedicated documents.
Do they have things on the floor we can look up the documents, or you had to go to the office to look them up and come back to the floor? Because if they have something like a terminal near the machine, so you can just look it up, well, that should be good enough. But if you don't have a terminal near the machine, you can look up the documents while you're working the machine. Then that's kind of stupid. Someone should be written up over that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what Sweet Leaf is exactly what they are saying is exactly how everyone is feeling, and it's hard because I know that we don't have all the information, so we can't like completely judge what management is or isn't trying to do. But there's clearly some lower level problems that aren't being looked at and no one's like paying attention, and there's a lot of other people issues going on getting in the way. That it's like, what are we supposed to do? Because all they tell us is to escalate, escalate, escalate. If you have a problem machine, escalate. It just comes down to this magic triangle they say they're supposed to put on every machine, telling us what the escalation tree is, even though it's not on any of the machines at my building.
Write that up. Write that up then. Make them say, well, why explain why it's on the trees in your building.
And it's like I have a machine and I'm like a person that's like, this is my area of problem. I don't need some magic triangle on the machine to tell me how, like, oh, I'm out of ideas on how to fix this. I better like call someone that might know.
What it sounds like to me is that somebody new was hired and they're changing everything because they're new.
That's kind of what happened with the last hire up guy who is no longer with us. And now we still can't even find someone to fill his position. So these other two people are filling that position, kind of. And
have AI do it.
they're still just trying to like take all of the controls people that is in my area and all the other departments and put them into one group and then try to get them to support everything everywhere. Now,
Let's
I'm
have gone
sure
through
we
bigger
can.
machines.
I'm sure we can help because some of this programming stuff is going to be similar, but you're just spreading way too thin. Like I'm not, if I work on something, I'm not going to remember what I did in some like unknown area in some part of the building I've only been to once. It just sounds like a recipe for disaster. And also there was like this confusion I brought up during this meeting too, where we had like the quality department, where we had like this understandable hierarchy of quality techs like QCs and quality engineers. And then it seemed like all of a sudden one day they kind of said, okay, yeah, we got rid of that system. We got rid of some of those people. Now they're no longer QCs, they're called QAs. And instead of them being able to tell you that, oh, you can't run the line or you can run the line because this part is good or bad to spec, we're going to put that responsibility along with other responsibilities back onto the setups that are running the machine and the operators that are boxing parts, and they can just figure it out for themselves because they're closer to the product, and I guess they should know what's in or out of spec more than an actual quality person.
Are you in packaging? Is that what you guys are doing, or you're actually producing something?
We make mold injected car parts mainly.
Okay. But like the machines that are doing it, that's what you're talking about? They're making those, they're molding extrusions?
There's molding that makes the housings, and then assembly is the one that takes the pins that stamping and plating makes, and the assembly machines stitch the parts, the pins into the housings, and sometimes bends them or encapsulates them.
And what car company?
It's not a car company, but it's just a company that makes car parts.
For all kinds of different car companies then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like parts that go onto like some of the motherboards and whatnot.
Yeah.
So apparently our quality notifications have gone down, and I guess that's good, but it got pretty bad there for a while because, people that don't know what they're doing are in charge of whether something's good or bad. Well,
I worked at an aluminum factory, and one guy came in. He's like, he changed all the rules on what happens if you get injured, and the injury numbers went down, but they only went down because the guy was giving them like 3 weeks at home instead of, if you don't report, you get a free week at home. And so now all the numbers go down, but like they're not actually going down.
I hope it wasn't that bad.
Oh, so the super people become supervisors because there's no reason for them not to be. Plus, the company doesn't want them to be in a way on the floor. So they just think, well, they can push papers, it won't cause as much problems, and then they keep causing problems, but different problems.
I would say it's just the SF popularity game where like we have this guy who I swear is almost bipolar and is miserable to work with. Because all the time he's like, oh, hey, buddy, hey. And then when anything is wrong in his area, he like flips a switch. He's like scary in terms of like how angry, and he's telling things need to be fixed now. And looks like he's having an anxiety attack. And he's like, what I consider a problem person, but hey, he's buddy with the supervisor of all of the people in his area. So it's like, what do you do? Thankfully,
I also noticed that a lot of people like pretend to be buddy or like they have that persona, that image that they are buddy with like the supervisor, but they're not actually, but like everyone else thinks they are.
Really?
Yeah, it's me. I have a lot of those kind of relationships. Very high number.
But now that supervisor's gone, so we're hoping that things will get better now that there is one guy in charge of all of assembly, and I kind of know him. So I communicated some of the problems that I was told, and I've kind of seen what people are doing on my shift to him today after the meeting. And I'm going to see if I made a terrible mistake or not, and what kind of trouble I'm getting myself into.
Right.
I feel like I'm putting a target on my back, and I feel I'm not too like decidery anxious for some reason. I'm not like super nervous. I'm just a little stressed, which is probably normal. But so I feel like I did the right thing, even though it doesn't feel like necessarily the right thing. I feel like I'm happy with the way I handle it because I've been in this situation enough to try that. I know I need to avoid trying to help people that don't want my help because that's a terrible freaking feeling. Don't go too extreme with it. And like, yeah, there just seems like there's several pitfalls if you handle something in the way I'm handling it.
Yeah, I could have been a supervisor at my company years ago, but I've been refusing each and every year because one, the job description lies about the hours, pants and fire lies. Two, I didn't want infinite downside responsibility blame wise, and three, and at my level they couldn't fire me if they wanted to because I'm one of the best. So there's no reason to increase the risk. But there's not enough reward and too much downside. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't bother.
It's not. It's a thankless job. It's not good job security. There's plenty of reasons not to. But it's just so weird. And it's like there's a mechanic that was hired for the second shift controls position, and luckily he's like a number one, I think, in the way that he just likes doing a lot of different things and like taking charge of a lot of different processes. Because we have like the main cell lead for that like shift is off training other areas on the MMS material management system, and he's like helping change over lines still and like running processes and making decisions for what his shift should or shouldn't do. And there's like two lines of thoughts. There's like the manager people that say, oh, this is good because you're adding value and you're showing that you're flexible. And there's the other people are saying like, no, this is bad because he's taking on roles that are not a part of his roles and responsibilities. And he's basically putting a duct tape over the holes of like, hey, we actually need more people. And when you're doing everything, it's not going to show that, hey, we actually need help. You're just covering it momentarily.
Right.
Yeah, duct tapers are technically a bullshit job, but when you need to get the thing done, well, don't get it done.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's good. I'm glad he likes doing all this other stuff, but I also agree that it's like he should be given a new position where it's like more, he's got more of these kind of responsibilities and he should get paid more and not just like covering for our lack of people.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. He may be like me and says, well, if I go up, I'll be blamed for all this stuff I don't have leverage over, so I refuse to go up. So
yeah. So it's just weird. And like sometimes when I come in, I hear one of the second shift people like complaining of like, who does he think he is to tell me how to do my job, sort of thing. And it's like, I think it was just the mechanic on my shift telling him, hey, you haven't been emptying this or doing this, that you need to be doing that. And then it's just turning into more people problems.
The funny thing is those people would refuse. They'll talk back to the person who's supposed to be telling them anyways. Oh, the manager, I don't go. He's mean. Don't tell me to do my job. So it doesn't matter who tells them. It's always wrong.
Pretty much is how it feels. And like other people are acting childish. And when that stuff's brought up to the cell leads that are supposed to like be helping this stuff, like nothing's ever done, or that's just said, oh, that's just small stuff. That doesn't matter. So I'm hoping with this new guy who was in charge of just like half the processes, being in charge of all the processes, that I can tell people, hey, email him about this problem and see if he does something. Since it's a new person in charge, go past your cell lead and just give it a shot and let's see if we can make things better. And then I guess we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah.
That's my plan. But it's crazy. And it's funny how little it affects me because like all I have to do is troubleshoot and like work on programming, wiring projects or whatever else is needed from me. I don't have to worry about all this other stuff. But I mean, hearing about it and hearing people's frustrations and how they're just done giving feedback and stuff, it's just like, ugh.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah,
pretty
so
much.
so the issue is over a long time, you'll probably eventually get downsized, but it won't be on you. As long as you have an exit plan, it's not that big of a deal.
I don't have an exit plan. I was hoping to never have to fill out another resume ever again.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing for me. I'm at a bigger company, so it's gonna take much longer for it to fail. But I'm still building an exit route, building my own company from scratch, which takes a really long time. We don't have, I guess, the right parents, or you don't have a bunch of money. It's really hard, but it's possible to do. So allegedly.
And like they've just wasted so much money moving these machines all the way to this other building, and all I understand is that's to be for when the CEO comes to visit like next week or whatever, and they can go, hey, see, we got all this open floor space for new machines, you can invest in us more. And I'm just like, I don't know, they're just trying to like get everything into shape for the big visit, and it just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Guessing that he won't be very impressed, but
Yeah.
so many lines haven't been running too, like the last 2 weeks, because of like so many material problems.
If you could take this guy aside and tell him what's really going on at the company, what would you tell him?
That's a really hard question, because especially being a CEO and him probably not understanding a lot of the specifics,
That's right.
I would probably try to make a conversation about how leadership communication is falling apart, and there's breakdowns in roles and responsibilities to where the escalation process doesn't seem to work. And I don't know, it's probably about as close as I could get, because there's just so many things you could say about how people haven't been getting reviews and haven't been getting raises and are getting stretched thin. I don't think he cares about all that, and I don't think
probably
he
not.
can't
He
really
doesn't care
control
about your
anything
little
about that.
or none of that. He cares about the bottom line.
And all I could do to help appeal to that is probably say, hey, the leadership is getting in the way of us making money.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'd have to try to shortly and specifically say why I think that.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably frame it as they're trying to aim so much for short-term profit that they're not seeing the bigger picture of how we don't have systems to train people and to expand properly. Because basically everyone thinks on my shift thinks that second shift has been like people that don't know what they're doing training the new people that don't know what they're doing. And there's like only one guy there that's old school, because he was around when the singular figurehead was, and so that's why he knows what to do in a lot of areas. But besides that, yeah. So
if you lose this one guy, you guys are screwed.
I don't know, probably at least the second shift controls guy is like the everything man, so he can help out too. But besides that, yeah, it's not looking good. And I was asking in the meeting too about like, or after the meeting, about who's supposed to train people anymore. Is it like the cell leads or what? And he kind of just goes on, well, it depends on the position and if he needs more engineering teaching or hands-on training and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't feel like that's answering my question, but it kind of sounds like he was saying, yeah, cell leads are supposed to be training, but everyone's supposed to be helping to train. If you see someone that needs help with something, you help them and you teach them. I'm like, yay, more breakdown in roles and responsibilities, just what I wanted.
I heard that before.
Him saying that the cell leads are supposed to train, I'm like, they don't know what the hell they're doing either. Only like a few of them have ever ran a machine for a little bit of time before they were put in this position. How are they supposed to train anyone?
You're asking for the SI. That's what you're doing, right?
Or they could go
I
think so.
read
the documentation on the INET, but we moved it again, so we don't know where it is. But
and they're giving you back an NI.
Yeah.
They're giving you. They're answering you with an NI, but you're asking for the SI.
And they don't like my N. They just want me to give S and solutions, and nothing else. And also apparently stay in my lane, because you're telling me that we need to be flexible and expand ourselves outside of our position. But also, I'm just supposed to focus only on my job and being the best I can at my job. Oh, thanks. That's not conflicting ideology at all.
So you're the only one picking your head up and being like, hey, I want to go outside of my lane. And they're like, hey, get back in your lane. Pretty much.
It's probably only because I'm only voicing of things outside my lane, not actually doing something outside my lane.
Oh, I see.
I'm guessing.
So start doing something outside your lane.
Yeah. At least this other guy was helpful in the conversation during the end of the meeting and a little after, where I guess he's been a quality guy for 2.5 years, and he said that no one ever says they want to work here anymore, and people are trying to get out of the door of working here. It's been like so bad. And
high turnover.
Just moved a tool room into like this other tool room to like combine the people and the parts listas in one area, to move the QCs in this other room, which doesn't really make a difference for them because it's not changing the distance they have to walk, while all of the tool room people are frustrated because now they have to walk twice as far when they want to go work on something. And like the big head guy of the whole plant was asking him, like, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that this change was made? And he's like, well, this is what I've heard. And he's like, no, I want you to tell me what you think. And I'm like, gosh, shut up. Anyways, he says to him, it didn't seem like it's making any difference. Like, sure, it might be good in the future, but right now we don't even have our machines in here and they're not working. So he's like, okay, imagine 2 weeks in the future, when they are working.
Yeah, we'll see in 2 weeks then. Is it working yet?
Yeah, like they're gonna check, because he's so busy trying to think about where we're gonna be in 2 years, he can't follow up on any of this stuff. And I asked them too about if two of them that were in this meeting we had like over a year ago probably, where I was dragged into, and it was supposed to be for the specific issues that one setup was bringing up about like gauge verification parts or sheets not working, and there being like these other specific issues. And basically that whole meeting turned into this one guy I really don't like telling us how problem solving works, and just talking on for like an hour about how you solve a problem, and nothing came of that. And I asked him, do you remember like any of the problems he brought up and whether anything was done about them? Like, no, we don't remember that meeting.
Yeah.
And then he also had the audacity to, like, the way he was talking to me about it was just stupid. He's like, oh, I disagree with you that the quality people's change came out of nowhere. We were telling you guys like 10 months ahead of time that this was happening and why we were doing it. I'm like, oh, right, sure. Yeah, let me go ask people when I go to work next about when they first heard about that and if they understood why it was done, and let me see how everyone else feels. It's the same guy that was talking for an hour about how to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Ugh, so frustrating. They just put like all the responsibility down on the lower person.
Yep.
They say, yeah, let's talk. Let's solve the problem together. And then as soon as it starts, it's like, okay, what do you think should be done about the problem? And then that's all it is. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I honestly would try to cut them out of the loop and that made them to complain at that point.
That's what some people seem to be trying to do, but yeah, they don't care because they're not close enough to the process. So no skin off their nose, I guess, as long as we're making our numbers and as long as we are doing what we can with what little people we have, then nothing matters.
I'll probably be comfortable working there. I'm used to that kind of treatment.
It's just, I wanted to come on to talk about that, and I was hoping to be able to process out loud how much of a hole I dug myself. But my boss knows that I don't do it out of a place outside of just like wanting to help. Like, I'm not trying to talk about the bad just to complain or to make things look bad or anything like that, which I'm sure that's how they are taking it. They just see me as like generalizing and just saying everything's bad. And that's not what I'm trying to do. And I can't get them
I
to
wonder if
understand
the way you're because okay, so like you're not supposed to have a lot of DE, right? So you're not supposed to have a very good opinion of what the tribe is seeing you as. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you hear one person say something, you might be like, oh, everyone else thinks that. Maybe not.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But
Yeah.
I did try to put some extra effort into asking all of the setups on my shift, which I guess are only like 3 now. And
Right.
they're all like voicing the same thing. So that's when I'm like confident enough to, after the meeting, talk to the new head guy of like assembly and say like, okay, you got like 10 minutes before your next meeting. This is one of the main things I've heard. Our people are not using our systems because they cannot work with second shift because they feel second shift is not leaving things in a proper state for them. And maybe some of the setups are going to get mad because they're going to get questions about that or something, but I'm okay with that because like all of you guys have been saying this. Is it not true? So because it seems so certainly true, at least from their perspective, I don't see how it could go wrong for me in that sense.
I have a bullshit workaround. That's the one we do here. It's called Prime. So we just have a couple of the people who actually will do the work go ahead and do all the setup before all the other people get there.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what we do to work around that. We have Prime.
But there's just, because it's just one shift after the other continuously, it's like the main frustration is coming in because there is nothing set up for them. Actually, things are in a worse state than they should be. And now all that effort is getting pushed on to them. So they're just like, yeah, screw this. We've tried escalating this and talking about this and complaining about this. It's being called.
Whose job is it? So like what you're doing here as well, whose job is it to do what you're doing is what I'm really asking.
Manager.
It's not your job, obviously.
No, I think it's a manager, but the cell leads are too combative with each other and aren't in unison and probably don't even escalate it to the person above them.
You're seeing things are going to go wrong and you want to stop them from going wrong.
Yes, please.
All right. Why don't you just be like, you see things are going wrong, you'll be like, yes, please, they have to go wrong so this guy finally gets a clue.
Well, that's what everyone else was trying to do, and it wasn't happening. So I'm hoping
so
to
maybe
skip that
things
step.
aren't actually going wrong.
As long as you get paid, I'm just wait for it.
I don't know if we have systems set up for stuff and that they're not being used. That seems pretty wrong. Even though it's like we're getting by because just everyone's just gonna throw their toilet paper on the floor instead of in the toilet. But yeah, I am trying to be careful of that. And I'm trying to make sure that like I'm staying open-minded of like maybe things aren't actually that bad, because like I keep hearing like multiple people say, and that they've heard other multiple people say that they've never seen the company in such a sorry state. And I keep saying, like, is that true? How do we quantify that? Or is it just how everyone's feeling?
It could be a feeling and it could not be. It might not actually have to do with reality.
And that's what I keep trying to say. Yeah. But everyone just says like they don't think they could like figure out how to quantify it. But if it is feelings, I feel like that adds to it being real. And that might just be, the extra fear of all of the emotions. But it just doesn't seem good. Like, I would think that people are feeling this way for reasons and that those reasons should be investigated. And hopefully That would be like someone's whose job it is, which is like a manager, but according to them in the meeting, they just say, oh, it's a two-way street, they need to start it. I'm like, if it's a two-way street, why aren't you guys trying to start it? And they're like, well, we have like, 26 people or whatever. It's hard to get to everyone, and we're supposed to do these one-on-ones, but it's our fault. We dropped the ball in this area. We can't get to everyone all the time. It's like, I feel like there's a problem here. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I still think you're probably definitely not supposed to be doing this, and letting things crash and burn sometimes is better.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's easier too.
I feel like I'm just trying not to go all in and trying to give it a chance for things to not crash and burn. And I feel like that's not the worst option, even though it puts a little bit of a target on my back, possibly, at least within the short attention span of the managers. And by next time, they'll probably forget.
Why would it put a target on your back?
Because I'm like being known as the person who's opening their mouth and complaining or causing problems or interrupting.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't open your mouth and cause problems. Don't do that.
Or do that and draw someone vulnerable in. Go ahead and shoot them first.
I'm just trying to like ask questions, because like I'd like to have an idea of like, why is what you guys are doing make sense? Like,
all right, but what if these guys here, they're like trying to do their job, and then they have one of these workers who's not even supposed to be here talking about this stuff, asking all of these questions. They're like, oh my God, I got to answer this guy again. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But their job to answer the questions, so they.
So
if they're management, it's their job to answer these questions anyway. So
that's true, Hank. You're right. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. I'm just trying to give them the opposite perspective.
Yeah, and it's totally that way. I am built to be annoying in that specific way, I feel.
Right. Well, at least you're self-aware.
Yes, just enough. So I think following the feedback I got of like, just focus on your job and be the best at your job that you can is probably as true as it will ever be, and it's probably what I should do. I don't know how I'll find the motivation to do it, but yeah. But I mean, we haven't had a meeting in months, so like, who knows? Maybe we won't have a meeting again. I don't have to worry about it.
Don't worry, they'll have a meeting again, and they'll pretend they'll start from scratch every time.
That's probably what they do every day in their little area huddles. They just have huddles every day.
Yep.
And it's like, what do they even do at those? It sounds like they probably just like list off the numbers from the machines.
Yep.
That they read in an email, and why they might be that way, and without having any understanding, and then just moving on.
Yeah, what did I do today? They meet the metrics. That's usually what they do.
Probably. I'm not sure what all they do in those meetings.
You know what'll help you? You know what'll help you? If someone, I'll find a good video on problem solving and I'll send it to you on how to problem solve.
Oh my God, I would die.
I mean, I have been very uncomfortable working in situations where I felt that the systems were poorly designed. It's really hard for me.
Yeah.
It really hurts my morale. So I can see where you're coming from.
That is how I feel.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot of just like the NE crack going on, but
I guess I'm just really used to being in places where systems aren't even designed, and we're all just take it as you go sort of thing. You just do what you need to do in the moment.
I think
I hate that. I hate that.
I hate it too, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah, I'm used to it too.
I mean, I feel like if that was like the straight up expectation, like, okay, we're going caveman mode, let's get this shit done, then I'm like, okay, there's a plan, I'll follow this leadership plan. I'm glad we actually have some kind of plan going forward that everyone can understand. Let's do it. But no, we just get this like void of leadership that makes no sense to me.
Well, do you know what you're supposed to be doing?
Not that much besides, my general keep machines running, try to troubleshoot and support where I can whenever there's a breakdown, try to keep myself busy with process improvements, programming, or like projects, which I'm a little low on at the moment. If I can't find something to do, I need to start asking the engineers for projects. But things are just kind of shifting because they're trying to put everyone in my kind of area into the digital OPEX group, which is one half of the OPEX group, which the other half is the physical OPEX group. And we had a meeting about it, and the guy asked us, what do we think digital means? And the whole goal of the meeting to seem to align us in the same direction, which, as far as I could gather, and from what I basically straight up asked, is the goal that you want to align us with, just to make things better? It's like, yeah. I'm like, great, good leadership. I'm happy.
It is interesting to hear you talk about your work compared with listening to Nico talk about his work.
Yeah, I kind of think some of that too. I don't know how to process that.
Like Nico, it seems like you're taking an extreme responsibility for like the whole picture. And like if we ask Nico, like, okay, so how does the pharmacy work? What's going on there? I'm not sure he'd be able
weird because
your picture of what happens.
I think the only difference between me and him, because I'm sure we are both, I'm probably lazier than him. I probably do less than him at all my jobs. But the difference is I at least care or show that I care. And I'm proactive in that emotional space, which just seems to keep me out of trouble.
Mm.
And the self-awareness of like, hey, yeah, I'm not doing good in this area. I've been too lazy lately. Thanks for talking to me. This will help me push me in the right direction, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is Sweet Leaf talking about?
And no idea. I was trying to figure that out too.
Talking about maybe talking to Nico. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, talking about it again makes me feel better still, because I feel like I didn't make any major missteps, even though I'm sure if someone got frustrated enough to like look at me, and if they have access to the guest Wi-Fi, I'd probably get in trouble with how much YouTube I listen to at work.
Most plan, because landline plans are unlimited. So they probably don't care.
I have no idea. I don't know.
As long as you get your work done, I'm sure you can get away with whatever you want.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably more like that now than it was, because I was thinking about what Hank was saying of like, oh, he's too valuable to be fired. That's what our second shift controls guy said. Like, gosh, how long ago was it now? 6 or 5 years ago or so. We had the more standard leadership that I'm used to that seems to work, from my opinion. And he just kind of said like, oh, he was sleeping. He accidentally would come in late too often because he'd like oversleep. And he's like, oh, I'm not worried about it because you guys can't afford to get rid of me. And then it was that point he messed up, and that's when they got rid of him. I'm like, no.
Yeah, everyone has a replacement. They can. That's what it's like in the companies. They can replace anyone.
I agreed with him, but like, also you can't just say that. Why would you say that? So,
yeah.
So I don't know, and I'm just worried about how they're gonna try stretching me and the second shift person to like all the other departments that don't have any other controls assistants on our shift, and how stressful that's going to be, and the learning
Yeah, you're gonna have
process.
to watch a lot less YouTube. You actually have something to do.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it sucks.
It kind of does, except for when like I am actually needed and I actually have something to work on. It doesn't bother me because I'm like, this feels more worth it, and I'm more motivated by being able to help and try to be of assistance than wasting my consume energy on junk food.
I actually strongly believe that everyone's replaceable. The thing is, I just want to make it too difficult for them to bother to push me out before I'm ready to go. So it's a very different thing. It's too difficult to replace or too inconvenient to bother to replace.
Yeah.
I feel like there's very, very few people that can get themselves in that sort of situation. One of which is people that are programmers that program things in such a crazy way that no one else can figure out what they did.
Well, that's the problem with the experts. That's the problem with the experts too. Like the experts just take so long and they're so niche in whatever they're doing that you don't really have anyone else in the job market that's been doing that.
Yeah. Gosh, we had a buyout, like I think it was before COVID. We lost so much knowledge and talent. And now they're just talking about how we can build our knowledge and talent. I'm like, gosh, some of these people are not capable.
You know what you need? Another lesson on how to solve problems.
Yeah.
And then that's that. Yeah, they'll solve everything.
Gosh, I hate that guy so much. And then again, I had to keep telling him when I was trying to communicate. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to communicate. That's not what I'm trying to communicate. That's not what I'm trying to communicate.
Right.
He just won't fricking listen. God, and he was
sounds like a info energy dom with some kind of consume problem, some kind of blast problem.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, and it's like people have been getting their bosses changed and shuffled around so often. It's just complete chaos. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like that one guy I was mentioning in quality who's worked here for 2.5 years was talking about that. Like, he hasn't had a review in that entire time he's been here. He kind of had a boss that was newer to the job, and right before she was probably like in a good enough position to actually give him a review, she got replaced by another guy, and now he still doesn't have a review.
Why does he need a review?
Because it's one of the only ways to get a pay increase is to have a review. But he's like, I don't even care about the money at this point. I just want to know how I'm doing. Like, give me some feedback. And I'm like, that's pathetic. But I'm glad someone else in a different department, completely separate than me, is saying similar things that everyone else is saying.
It's hard to review some people because you don't even know what their job is or what they're doing. Like, you have to really get into their business to review them. And
that's the problem. all the management has no freaking idea. So what do you do?
Of course, the management.
Then have the high level management do it. They should know what needs to be done.
They know less because it's like only the people that are closer to the floor have a better idea. But the problem is that the people that are more in that spot now don't have the built up knowledge ahead of time to do anything with it, and they're not in the position to actually do reviews. So I don't freaking know.
Then have the people review themselves. That's their only other option.
I know what the solution is. Just get rid of all the systems.
Yes, let's do it. I mean, we're already doing that in some ways.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just some of this.
If everyone's educated right, then they're not stupid, and you get rid of the systems, then everything works.
Allegedly.
As long as they know how to solve problems.
The problem people too. There's like some specific people, like that guy who I said feels like he's bipolar. I just feel like they just need to get rid of some of those people too. And I think people's happiness would spike up quite a bit.
I agree. Either bipolar or narcissistic, they do the same thing, but only under different circumstances.
Now that I think about it, my coworker on first shift has gotten in trouble way more than me, because how he's going about it is like if he sees something stupid in an email or like something, he's like, Oh, I don't think that's supposed to be done that way. Who's in charge of like following up on this or whatever else, or like give some kind of like criticism, and then he's the one that gets called into for a talking to by management, saying like, "Do you have a problem that you want to talk about with this individual?" And like all that BS that makes people anti wanting to put feedback in anywhere. And it's so contradictory. They keep saying like we want to be open to feedback and criticism, but also if you give feedback and criticism and we don't like it, then you're not going to have a good time.
Well,
I have to talk to you.
That's about controlling the narrative. So I'm not afraid of being in trouble. I just want to make sure I know what the trouble is. I want to be in specific kind of trouble, one that doesn't potentially hurt my paycheck. So if someone says the quality of work's bad, well, I'm retaliating because that's not something I will allow someone to say unless they can prove it.
You can't retaliate. Retaliating is against the rules.
Well, certain kind of retaliation against rules. A standard write-up or standard, I guess, review by a specific team is within the rules because it has to be done to enforce a policy and code.
Yeah, that would be nice.
At least where I am. So, like, I was told I loaded a truck wrong when I followed the loading the SIDs, the sort IDs. So I went ahead and called P&D to explain to the driver that it is in fact not loaded incorrectly. They put the SIDs got put in wrong for their route. So now that complaints doesn't come up again. And I also just rub it in harder to make sure I got trainees again. Just for the station to demonstrate to the driver that we trust this guy and there's no problems here. So.
Oh.
So yeah, make the system work for you at the edges.
That's what a lot of people were saying, that some of the people that were trying to build some of these new systems we have is like, we just want to we want to make sure it works for you. So give us feedback. And gosh, we've had so many new systems, and some of them are just so silly in a way and are replacing things, and like people are going like trying to make something the next big thing for our company when even the other higher ups are saying, no, we're not doing that. I'm just thinking about all the money that's being wasted.
They can leave at any time, and if you don't have an AI guy, you could become. It could be you till AI crashes and burns, but still be you first.
Yeah, I'm sure they do want to head in some AI directions, but I don't know. It's just like so much. They wanted to get rid of emails for a lot of the people, and I just thought that was the stupidest thing. Because now a lot of the support people are not even reading any pass downs from the machines. It's so silly.
Well, will they give you the machine logs in another format? Because if so, they may have a point. But if it isn't coming at all, then that's kind of dumb.
It's coming. It just takes a lot of steps to go all the way to this like plant communications page on this specific machine.
I'm listening to you and I'm like, you're not wrong about anything, but oh my God, I would hate to have you as an employee.
I know, right?
It's not that you're wrong. Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me to have him as an employee.
No, yeah.
What would make it more tolerable to be able to say these things with being more tolerable? Besides,
well, the thing is,
them.
these people don't want to listen to you. They don't want to hear what you're saying. So that's why it's not tolerable.
But if you were my boss, you'd want to hear me out, right?
I would, yeah. I guess. But then I would want you to go away and be like, okay, I heard you.
I mean, I'll tell them how the situation is at the management end and say and just say, here's how it is right now with the concerns. So then you could decide if you want to stay or leave. It's that simple.
You know what I would like? It would be like if you would ask me like, hey, do we have a way that we can give suggestions or something like that? Like a suggestion box?
No,
We
we go
did.
through our suggestions.
I don't know where it is or if it's still in use. I mean, we used to have meetings where we talked about that stuff,
Right.
but we don't have those meetings anymore. Now all we have is these conglomerate meetings once every.
I had a boss who put out a suggestion box and he was checking it for a while, but then I noticed he stopped checking it because no one used it. It was just, yeah. And then so I stuck something in and I was like, with the date, I put the date on it and I'm like, tell me when you get this. And I put it in and he didn't get it for like 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I timestamp notes now, so I know when I wrote them. I actually started doing that a while ago, but good time.
Apparently, there's like a hotline for the parent company where you could like voice your complaints.
Use it.
And people will come and check things out. So I've been trying to tell people that, yeah, maybe we should do that. Because it'd be hilarious.
Man, you
Just
would be
do
loved after that happens. Yeah.
Not maybe we should do it. Yeah, absolutely do it.
But it'd
Try
be
it
hilarious
out- try
if a
it out
bunch
at
of
least.
people started doing it right a week before the CEO comes, and if any of those messages would reach him before his visit.
Yeah,
I mean-
wait till after.
No,
I thought you wanted to burn, Benjamin.
I say try it now and see if anyone reads it. Because otherwise, there's no reason to do it if it doesn't work. But try it now, see just to test before we come see if anyone's actually gonna respond.
Yeah.
It feels too risky. I don't want to get burned by it.
Bullshit.
I want
Then
someone
get
else with
something.
more
Get someone with a
personal
balls.
problems to do
Yeah,
it.
get someone with some balls to do it if you don't have any balls.
That's how they got rid of some
He's just
people.
not a
in the
Karen,
town.
man. He's not a Karen.
I'm
It's
not
not
a
his
Karen.
job.
Well, I
He's
am.
not supposed to be a Karen.
I am a Karen then. I have
Are you?
balls. I'll run the write a report.
Yeah. You got that strong TE that you could smack people around with.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping with like me being able to tell people to email the new guy that they will actually try it and things will actually get better. That'd be great.
Define better.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
People getting things ready for the next shift of people before the end of their shift. That would be better.
All right, we're going to end this shift. End the last shift 15 minutes earlier, then start the next shift 15 minutes later, and we're gonna have prime between the other shifts.
They have a half an hour overlap now between shifts. There shouldn't be any reason why we have this problem.
There shouldn't be any reason, and it's not your job. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, setup could be your job. And you get extra money. You get 30 minutes more work, so per day.
But yeah, I feel like this is as close as I'm gonna fly to the sun for this company, and I'm done.
Yeah.
So do you have another job lined up yet? You said no earlier, but maybe
no.
it's yes now. Oh, okay.
There's like a Google data center being built. You know, maybe that'll be done by the time it's time.
Maybe.
I think a lot of people are going to be aiming for those jobs at that data center.
I wouldn't count on them.
Gosh. It's an hour past my bedtime. I should probably get to it.
Was
Your
it
bedtime.
Is it 2:30 a.m. there?
No, it's 3.
No, 3 p.m.
Yeah. I think you guys are starting an hour later because of the time zone daylight savings
No,
difference.
because I'm just taking an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember that one year it was like because of daylight savings time, so I didn't know if that was still going on or not. So I know we don't have it at the same time.
I figure like it's better later anyways for people. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think so.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
Go do the DE for us and figure it out.
I'll consider it.
But anyways, I hope this.
Yeah, thanks for jumping back on. It's
Yeah, I
good
hope it made it a good episode. I haven't caught the last one, so I don't know if you've had any progress on your patents or anything.
Oh, I'm going back to the physics for now. The patents, I have a bunch of patents that can be filed, but yeah,
But they're not filed yet.
they're not filed yet. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question about your patent filing. You live in a country that's not mine. Why can't you file your patents in your country?
I can,
All right, problem solved then.
but I also want to file it in other countries so that they can't violate it over there.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Oh. Well, good luck for the rest of the stream. Thanks for listening, and I'll try to work on being less annoying continually.
I didn't mean to call you annoying, but it's just like,
No, it's true though.
yeah.
I get it. It sucks.
Like, you need the answers, but that's a you thing.
That's what my brain says. Yes.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
And I have answers you don't like.
That is very true. They don't TI work for me. Sorry.
Do you have better answers than my answers yet?
No.
There you go. Now you have a default. So you either do nothing or do what I told you.
Do nothing is my default.
Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead and continue. Carry on.
Will do. See you guys.
Later.
See ya.
Bye.
Cool. Well, we had a bunch of people jump on.
Yep.
Yeah.
You say, Nick?
Yeah, I advertised it a little bit.
Oh, good for you. Thank you.
Yep.
You're well liked. Look at that.
Yep. Well liked, well hated, well if they know I exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else you need?
No, anything else you need?
Yeah, but I had to do it myself, so we could end the stream if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good
Okay.
one. Have a
Bye.
good week.